I woke up like this. I woke up like this. Hey y'all, this is Cassandra Color coming at you again with another makeup tutorial. And we're going to get right in there. We're going to start with the Professional Primer by Benefit, putting that all over the face. And then following that with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi in shade W1/2. At first I started with the Real Technique sponge just to lay down the foundation. And then I switched to the Morphe M439 just to get more of a full coverage in the areas that I needed. And after that, returning back to the Real Technique sponge just to smooth everything down to an even consistency. Next, I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape in Fair Neutral and blending that out with the Real Technique sponge. Which I did decide to go ahead and bring that up to the eyes just to make a good base. And then before moving on, I did decide to go ahead and blend out the forehead with the Real Technique sponge and immediately setting it with the RCMA No Color Powder. And then also using the Real Techniques Beauty Blender to blend out the under eyes and eyelids and immediately setting it with the RCMA No Color Powder. Now that we have a good base, I went ahead and started to trace out the general shape that I wanted for the mask. And I'm using a light colored eyeliner pencil, which allows more room for error as it is easy to erase and correct if needed. Also, we will be drawing over this later, so it's purely meant for rough drafting only. After I was comfortable with the shape that I wanted, I went ahead and started putting down the base of the mask, which is just the Jeffree Star Skin Frost in Ice Cold. And when I applied this, I started with my fingers, but then I switched to a Morphe M524. It just gave it a little bit of a better coverage over the mask portion. Ooh, that's sexy. Just living the dream. Now that the base of the mask is down, I started to draw the borders of the mask with the NYX Matte Liquid Liner in black. And at that point, I went ahead and started the top of the detailed portion of the nose, where I basically drew these like chicken claw type of things. I wanted it to replicate the feel of feathers. Now I'm directly bringing the border around the other side of the face and working my way to the lower nose detail. The lower nose detail is where I basically just drew some lines directing outward and then made the bases of the lines connected and round. Also, I wanted to apologize for the softbox being in some of my shots. I was just so concentrated on what I was doing, I didn't even notice for a while. So here's where I started to play with the idea of the swirlies that I wanted along the bottom border, just to kind of see what they looked like. I just started with one fleur-de-lis, but I knew I didn't want all fleur-de-lis, so I had this idea to alternate between fleur-de-lis and diamonds along the top border so it wasn't too much fleur-de-lis. But also once I started going, I started noticing that I wanted the space correctly on either side, so I made reference points on both sides of my face where I wanted the fleur-de-lis and the diamonds alternating. Pinned up that little flyaway there. And I continue to draw this sequence on either side. If you notice, I am flipping between the normal side of the mirror and the 7X side of the mirror just to ensure the accuracy of the intricate details. I smell bitch. I smell bitch. Does anybody smell bitch? There's a bitch. There's a bitch right there. What do you want, bitch? What do you want? Damn best friend just admiring the shit out of my makeup. And we're back in. Just continuing those little swirlies at the bottom portion of the mask and just some random configurations on either side. I basically winged it in this portion and just kind of put them every which way, wherever I wanted. But I made sure it wasn't too heavy with the swirlies in one area. I wanted them to be evenly dispersed throughout the bottom border of the mask on the under eye region. As you can see, some of them are taller than others, some of them are shorter. They're completely sporadic. And also I wanted to show you, listen, look, it's hard to do your left side of your face with your right hand. I just need you to know. After that, I went ahead and just put some little lines underneath the bottom border, almost to replicate like tassels. And after that, I did darken either side of the mask, just the line, just to make it defined and even throughout. And I continued the tassels onto the left-hand side of the face, which are basically just little bitty lines. At this point, I started on the eyebrows, where I basically brushed up the hairs and drew a line, and brushed down the hairs and drew a line, and made the tail of the brow really opaque and the front of the brow really sparse. The same way I draw my eyebrows in usually, but instead I'm doing it with black liner. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mama does not like bugs. Mama does not like bugs. No, no. Let's get back in there. I guess what can you expect when you have a bunch of fluorescent lights like this in your front living room? Once I got done with this eyeliner, since we're having a blasty blast, I went ahead and went in and started the winged liner on one eye, and then I did the other eye, and then I completed the left eyebrow. And as you can see, I'm brushing up and creating a line, and brushing down and creating a line, and then just filling that in the same way I did the other side. So now I'm going in with Corrupt by Makeup Geek just to create a crease and some more dimension in this look. And I started with a MAC 224 just to get it in the crease, and then I used a Morphe 506 for a tighter placement to make a unified disperse smoky effect. And then I also did use a packing brush to press some more of that Jeffree Star highlighter on the lid and onto the brow bone just to make it a correct looking eye. After that, I went in with a Morphe M524, which is the same one that I used to put the highlighter on my face initially, but this time I used it with a LA Color Shimmer in Snow White. It's kind of a chunkier one. It's just to add kind of a light shimmer. And then I continued on the lower lash line using a MAC 239 to smudge out Corrupt. And then we're curling the lashes, doing a little dance, putting on some mascara. And then following with a kohl liner in the waterline on both sides. Next up are lashes. Any guess to what lashes I'm using? Any guesses? Any guesses out there? Alright, so we're going in with the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes. As always, they always give it to me, and that's why I always use them. And now that the eyes are done, I went in with a nail tool to create some dots along the top border. Basically, this is just a little metal ball on a stick that I am loading and reloading with the NYX Liquid Liner, and I'm putting dots all along the top border. And then after that, I went in and I just kind of put in some random dots. I started with bigger ones and put that on the bridge of my nose and then underneath my eye where it was kind of blank, and then went in with a few smaller dots. And here you can see I'm actually putting small dots along the borders of the swirlies. I feel like that was a really important detail for the intricacy of this piece. And I did that on both sides, basically just putting random dots all over the face, big ones and small ones, and then little bitty dots along all of the swirlies. After that, I use my House of Lashes lash glue to adhere some rhinestones with tweezers. These are Tweezer Man tweezers. They are my favorite to pluck my eyebrows. They are worth $20. I do like them a lot. But I'm just using them to apply rhinestones here, of course, but that's what kind of tweezers they are. So I'm putting on the rhinestones all over my face kind of sporadically. But basically the idea here is that I made the rhinestone placement correspond to the dot placement, in that the dots appear to be shadows of the rhinestones. And moving on to the lips, I used ColourPop liner and lippy stick in the shade Bullchic Matte. That might be Bullchic, but I like to say it Bullchic Matte. And just filling in the lips with all black, all over the lips, all of the black. And following that with a little bit of corner detail with the same NYX liquid liner, just to give it some points on the end. And at this point I'm running super late for my dance class, so I quickly bronzed and highlighted. I'm using the Physicians Formula bronzer and then the same highlighter I used for the mask on my face. And I went to dance class, and now I'm back to attack from dance class. Also, I'm about 4 hours deep at this point, so mama's gotta eat, mama's gotta drink, you know. And we're gonna get in there with some glitter. Get in there with some glitter, girl. So I'm just using a regular packing brush just to pack some glitter on the lip. This is just some Walmart body art glitter right here, but it's a good glitter. So at this point I felt it needed some more happening on the sides. So I decided to go in and put some more shading on either side of the mask. And basically I'm using the MAC 224 and the MAC 239 interchangeably on both sides and just making sure it is blended so that it has a good smoky effect. So at this point I'm pretty much done. I'm just going to finish out blending the sides of the mask, but this video went really quick. I used a lot of products, but anything not mentioned in this video will be listed in the description box below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.